Hanaki. Did you know that our souls are connected by fate? Yep, your soul will do. What do you know? I'm Yuno Hanaki, the one and only Oran from Yaluna. Hello, Hanaki. Happy Monday. Happy Onigashima Monday. Happy OniMon. Hydrate already? Okay, I guess I'm drinking some water. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome in. Hello. Hi. Let me fix my microphone real quick. This positioning is not ideal for streaming. There we go. Fixed it. There are two Yuno puns in your intro. Listen. So, as you guys know, Hitomi has a couple of VTuber models that she sometimes uses, right? She had it... She was, like, screen sharing to me today to, like, show some stuff with her model, and I've given her access to mine so that she can play around with it, too. And she was playing with it, and she was pretending to be me, so she was like, did you know? Did you know? And then she paused, and she literally made a face like this, and then was like, wait. Did you know? And I just had to watch her, like, slowly put the pieces together in real time. And I was like, what do you mean you didn't figure that out until now? What do you mean you didn't figure that out until now? And then she tried to do the, you know, the meme of Lisa Simpson where she's looking down at the table, like, kinda, she was trying to do that face using my model. Because she was like, I messed up. How did I not know that? Oh, God. It was really funny. It was really funny. At least she got it. I've been a VTuber for nearly 3 years! How did she not know? I've had this intro the entire time! It's so funny to me. It'll never not be funny to me, bro. Oh my God. It's been 84 years. You guys all knew, right? You guys all knew that I make the joke twice, right? This isn't your first time finding it out, right?
Do better.
Anyway, yes, Hanaki. Welcome in, welcome in. Josh Knowles, thank you for the $20 tip. Thank you, thank you. Money for Oni. I love Persona. It's just so hard to explain to only RPG or high school life sim fans how the blend works so well. Persona really has capitalized a formula, hasn't it? It's truly crazy. But, like, they really do blend it so nicely together. It just scratches the brain. Persona 4 Remake, it's time. Same. I'm also excited for Persona 4. And it looks so good. I mentioned this during the Xbox showcase itself, but like, y'all, the P4R looks so much better than P3R did. I simply have to say this, and this is as someone who loves P3. P3R didn't freshen up as well as I think it could have. And not to say that it looks bad. I just ultimately think that P4R looks way better. But I think, I was talking to Hitomi about this earlier, actually, and I think that, they had to make it look better because they know that the P4 fans are very, very critical and very, very picky. Which, me too, I'm Persona 4 fans. Hi, hello. Aesthetically, it looks great. I watched the presentation in English. Yes, they changed the whole cast. I'm not super enthused about them. I don't hate them. I'm sure they're going to do a great job. We only heard bits and pieces from the trailer, so I'm not gonna, like, judge them based on the trailer. However, I will probably be playing in JP. But that's just because that's my preference. I like Morikubo Yosuke, so I would have probably picked JP even if they kept the original cast for the dub. I expected them to change the cast. Yeah, no, like I said, I knew it was gonna happen too. I'm very sad about Yuri Lowenthal not being Yosuke, though. He loved being Yosuke so much. So I'm a little bit sad for him, but it happens. Such is the business, I suppose. How did Hitomi react to P4R and P6? P4R... she already saw a couple of spoilers about it because some friends in a different server that she was in posted without spoilers. So she saw, like, crumbs while trying to clear out some notifications. But when we watched the actual, like, proper trailer, she did like it. She had a similar thought to me where the new voices were a bit hard to adjust to. I'm trying not to judge them wholly based on a singular trailer. So I'm trying to be chill about it, kinda, I guess. I don't know how else to word it. But she's like me. We both didn't really care for their voices. Hitomi's a very big Kanji fan. She really didn't like the voice for Kanji from the get-go. But it could be something that we grow on, depending on vibes. I don't know if she's gonna play in JP. She might. I think she started playing P3R in JP, but I don't think she got very far in it. And as for P6, similar to the rest of us, she had no idea it was going to be P6. She did not expect it to be P6 at all, and then she was like, whoa. Crazy. Is the JP cast the same? Yes, the JP cast has been the same in every iteration of the Persona games. In Japan, with Seiyu culture, it's like very much a legacy thing. It's very, 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 very rare for a character to be recast in JP. It's usually because of external factors. The Seiyu gets sick. The Seiyu has to go through some sort of vocal surgery and can't perform the necessary parts of the role anymore. It's very, very rare that a character is replaced by another Seiyu. Even in things like remasters or remakes or whatever you want to call them, it's very rare. Very, very rare. In some cases, they sometimes won't even bother to recast the character if the Seiyu, like, passes away, even. It really, really depends. In Final Fantasy VII, they recasted everyone, same with Tsukihime. It really, really depends. I think there are some cases where they can do recasts, like Fruits Basket. I think that remake recasted a lot of the original cast, but it's very rare. I can't really speak on anything related to Final Fantasy, though, because I've never played a Final Fantasy game. Hanaki, welcome in, welcome in. Case in point, Granny Goku. And we were talking about this a couple streams ago as well, but we mentioned that the Seiyu behind Luffy for One Piece really wants to retire, but they're not letting her. Did Igor's voice change in JP too? I know he changed in EN. I don't remember. I can't really say because I never played P5, and I think that's where he first changed. Because the OG passed away? Ah, yeah. Okay. Makes sense. My voice has stayed more or less the same. Ha 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 ha. Very funny. Good one. But yeah, anyways. But not a little bit sad about the P4 cast changing. I really liked them. They got pretty good with their roles over time. I remember I liked OG Chie. I did not really care when they recasted Chie at first, but then she really grew into the role. And it feels really sad that she's like finally gotten her footing in all of the times that she's played Chie up to this point, and now it has to go to a whole new girl. And I once again don't like Chie's voice. It's something that I feel like you have to grow into when you start dubbing a character. Especially if you're like following in the shoes of a different voice actor. I forgot she was recast. A lot of the original P4 cast members were recast. I think it was like Yu, Yosuke, and Yukiko who really stayed consistent. Everybody else I think got recast at least once. But yeah, for Chie, it's a third dub voice actress. Risei, I think, is also now on her 3rd. Kanji, I believe, would be on his 3rd. Because Troy Baker was only Kanji for original P4. I think Matt Mercer was Kanji for, like, every iteration of Kanji for a while. Yeah, Kanji, Teddy, and GA all got recast. Risei did as well. Because Laura Bailey couldn't be Risei at the time. Yeah. Anyways. So, like, I guess it was bound to happen eventually, but, like, again, I'm just kind of sad because I do feel like a lot of the dub actors for P4 at least liked being their characters. I also saw someone saying that they, like, the old cast very recently recorded lines as the P4 characters for BlazBlue. So, like, it does feel kind of sad that they were then just very suddenly recast for the remaster, but seems to be the trend because they did it for P3, so we shouldn't be shocked. But to me, it's just a little bit sad. Especially, like, not to have a bias because Yosuke is my favorite character, but Yuri Lowenthal loved being Yosuke and was, like, so enthusiastic about Yosuke. And there was actually something that he posted, like, last year, about how he had practically begged to be allowed to voice Yosuke for the remaster, and they didn't let him. So it's sad to me, because he loves Yosuke so much. And he honestly did such a really good job. So, you know, breaks my heart a little bit. I think Naoto's VA in the original is her first and only credit, very possibly under a pseudonym. Is that so? I honestly don't remember. But yeah, Naoto was also a voice actor that changed for P4G. And I remember not liking her new voice as much because I liked how the original voice actor, like, spoke really low for her. I really liked low voice Naoto. I think the next person that they got spoke a little too high. I only heard, like, the one line for Naoto in the trailer. It didn't sound terrible, but I do kind of wish they spoke lower. I really love lower tone Naoto. I think it's kind of necessary for Naoto's character, but it was just the one line, so I can't... Once again, I'm trying to not be like, they suck! It's just, I need a bit to get used to it, and, you know, I am sad and nostalgic for the cast that I liked, you know? So, a little bit of a bummer. I think also, at least in terms of, like, maybe the Matt Mercer of it all, with Matt being Kanji, they probably couldn't bring him back to be Kanji again because he now plays, like, a default character in P5. So, he has, like, his own character now, and originally he only took over for Kanji because Troy Baker couldn't do it at the time, so... It makes sense that they wouldn't bring him back, at least. I don't know. I could complain until the cows come home about the casting choices and why the dub sounds the way that it does and all of these things and why dub acting is how it is in the West, but it's not my battle. Technically not my monkeys, therefore not my circus. I didn't really want this stream to be all about that anyway. Point is, I am still excited for P4R, more than I was for P3R. So I, for one, am looking forward to P4, and I will probably be picking it up and playing it. Looks good, aesthetically. Big fan of how they're leaning more into the TV aesthetic of it all. I liked the UI adjustments, I liked the... There were, like, some other screenshots that are up on Atlus's, like, website for the game, and there's, like, some cool stuff that it seems like they've changed for, like, localization purposes, and stuff that they've changed for, like, stylization purposes. It looks pretty good, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they really captured the whimsy, and they've also confirmed that we get all of the stuff from Golden, plus some extra stuff, so... I'm finding it a little difficult to be fully mad, at least at, like, the game as a whole. And as long as I can turn on JP voices, I will be chill. I was a little miffed thinking it wasn't too long ago, and then I found out P4 is 18 years old. Original P4? Yeah. Golden was, like, what? 2014? So that's also pretty old now. Golden was 2012? No way. I was playing Golden in 2014. I don't think it was 2012. I played P3P in 2012. But I might be a poor metric. Because I was playing the games a bit younger than I should have been. So I might be a poor metric for judging. 2013? Okay. We shake our hands in the middle. You were 1 year too early, I was 1 year too late. Handshake, handshake, handshake. We'll take it, we'll take it, we'll take it. Almost 14 years to the day, my god. Wow, yeah. But yeah, it looks like it's more so an adaptation of Golden, with even more extra stuff put in. But I like that they're changing how certain things work, like the baton pass feature looks pretty cool. I like that they're calling the all-out attack and like the final move like a series finale. That's kind of fun because it really follows the TV concept. I don't know, man. Looks like there's some whimsy. I'm into it. And I'm also very curious about P6. If you guys didn't see, there was like a listing on the Xbox website about, with like a brief descriptor of what they think of, like what they know about P6 so far. And it does kind of seem like it's gonna be leaning into the occult, horror, spooky vibe a little bit more. It does say mostly a lot of nothing. It's mostly like waxing poetic about Persona as a whole. But they did drop the words of like it being eerie and like, it seems like it's gonna be a little bit more like occult and like horror focused. Like I was waxing philosophically about after the presentation, so who knows? I am optimistic about it. I look forward to finding out about it later on. Just remember the chair teaser for P5, this can mean nothing. What do you mean? The chair teaser for P5 was honestly pretty good because it implied the whole like MC being considered like a prisoner aesthetic and like the Velvet Room being a velvet prison. I don't know, man. I don't think we should assume it's nothing. And again, on the official Xbox site, where they probably received what they needed to post for PR purposes from Sega/Atlas, it specifically mentioned, like, the eerie, like, vibe and, like, the occult stuff. They specifically used the word occult, like occult mysteries or something. So I don't know. Don't be a doubter. But, like, at the same time, they could also totally change up the vibe. We'll see. I don't mind grade school kids playing the Persona games at all, regardless of what anyone says about it. I mean, I think if you can handle it, it's fine. OniMama didn't really question when I wanted to play a game that was rated M. She was just like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay. And then she got it for me without really questioning me further. Wasn't Persona rated T? Nope. Always been rated M. P3, I believe, was rated M. P4 was also rated M. I know because P4 I played first. I didn't play P3 until a bit later. But no, I do agree that the stuff they said about P6 on the Xbox website was pretty much, like, mostly nothing. They were mostly like, this is what Persona games are like in general. And then they had, like, 1 or 2 sentences that kind of implied what P6 might be about. But it could also very much be them just making guesses based on the trailer, too. Who knows? Who's to say? Who knows? I remember getting carded at GameStop in 2007 to buy Persona 4. The first time I ever got carded to buy a video game was... it wasn't for... Hold on. I have to double check something. Okay, no, it wasn't for that game. At first I was like, was it for Fire Emblem Awakening? It was not. It was because I bought Conception 2 at the same time. Because I was like, ooh, anime game. And then they were like, I think we have to card you for this. And I was like, oh. Yeah, that does say rated M, doesn't it? You know what? Fair enough. I always get confused because I bought those games at the same time. I bought like 3 games at once. It was on my senior year trip. So you know, 18-year-old Oni experiencing being an adult for the first time. So I went to the NYC Nintendo store and I wanted to have something to commemorate it, so I got games. I'm pretty sure it was Fire Emblem Awakening, Conception 2. I don't remember what the third game was. I'm pretty sure I got 3 games, though. I can't recall. But I know those 2 for sure, and then I got carded, and I was like, am I doing something crazy? Yeah. You did your senior trip to NYC? Yes! There were 2 options for the senior year trip when Oni was in high school. The options were a DC trip and an NYC trip. I did not choose DC. I went NYC instead. It was like right before high school graduation, so we went like the week before we'd be graduating. We came back after that like trip. We went during like I want to say Memorial Day weekend, maybe. Came back like right after that, and then we had our graduation the Tuesday the following week.
Your soul will do.
I meant to say earlier, but Metal Seeds, thank you for the 6-month resub, and Egan, thank you for the 10-month resub. Thank you, thank you. I forgot Conception was rated M. You think about the title and you realize why. You think about the title and you're like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Understandable, have a good day. I also, like, I didn't really think about it in my head when I picked out the game. Unless it was immaculate. True. The whole game is immaculate Conception. For the record, I never beat that game. I played a little bit of it. I don't remember how far I actually got. I got more hyper-focused on Fire Emblem. Did you beat Fire Emblem Awakening, though? Yes. Yes, I did. I married Crom my first playthrough because of the forced marriage mechanic of being a female Robin at a certain point in the story. Not that I'm complaining. Robin did end up being my favorite ship. And then I had a second lady file where I married Gaius. And then my third file I played as a male Robin. I don't remember which lady I married. Or if I even got to the point where I could marry. But I had 3 save files. My main one, where I auto-married Crom. My second one, where I tried to marry Gaius. And then my third one, where I was a boy. 3 playthroughs, real gamer. Yes, so. Yes, so. Gotta get the whole experience. Gotta get the whole narrative. Hated that you couldn't marry a girl as a girl. Well, they got better about it in later Fire Emblem games, which is nice. The game's that good then? I mean, yeah, I really liked it. I thought the story was fun. That was my first Fire Emblem game, so had a good experience overall. I didn't play Fates. Any of the Fates games. I heard about them from friends, but I didn't play them. And then I never played any of the Switch ones. Fates has better gameplay over Awakening? I see, I see. I wouldn't know. Never touched it.
wouldn't know, never touched it.
You know Fire Emblem Fates stream when? You guys want to get me, hacked 3DS? With Fates in it? You want to do that for me? Then maybe. You talking about going to the Nintendo store reminded me of how I never got the chance to go. We had a free day and I proposed it as an idea. Teacher said I'm not going to Times Square. They had the gall to give a shit about being indecisive when he shot down our next 2 ideas. I'm still bitter about it. That's so fucked up. That's so fucked up. I feel so bad for you. This is going to reveal some information. I guess I'm not telling you the year, so it's kind of okay. But, we were in Times Square specifically as part of our itinerary because, the teacher that was our chaperone, who was also the drama coach, should say everything, he wanted to try and get us to appear on, Good Morning America on a particular day where they were going to be having a filming outside as part of, like, the holidays. Because, again, we were there, like, Memorial Day weekend, so they were trying to, like, see if it would be possible to get us to be on TV. So we were, like, right in Times Square for, like, that particular filming, and then we had a bit of free time afterwards, because we only had to do that, like, one part of the filming, quote-unquote, and then we were allowed to kind of do whatever, and since we were in the area anyway, my friend and I were like, I think we can sneak over to the Nintendo store with the time that we have. They gave us quite a bit of free time, honestly, as long as we stayed within that certain, like, district of the city. So when we had the free time in Times Square, we booked it over to the Nintendo store. It was just me and my friend. We had to stay with a buddy. We had to have a buddy system in effect. But we both really wanted to go to the Nintendo store, so we made sure to do that. (1906) Yeah, basically. Some of us talked about it after we figured it was because it was 420 weekend and he didn't want to deal with the weed. Yeah, that's so silly. As if, like, high school students don't already deal with that on a regular basis. That sucks, though. Hopefully, if you ever get the chance to go on a trip to NYC again, you'll be able to go properly and be there like an adult with your adult money. I wish I could have gone to New York when the Pokemon Center still existed, like, separately from the Nintendo store. Because I had really wanted to go to the Pokemon Center, but they didn't have a separate building anymore by the time we went. It was just included as part of the Nintendo store. Would emulation be enough? I suppose it could be. I do have a means of doing that, as long as I can find a legal copy. Winks with both eyes. It's possible. The problem is I don't really know how to format setting up the dual screens. Because last time I did a game where it had dual screens, everybody got mad when I only tried to show the one screen that had the action on it. Everybody was like, we want to see both screens, you know, Hanaki. And I was like, okay, it's gonna look ugly. It's gonna look ugly, though. Nerd Haven in Manhattan now, though, is Kinokuniya and book off for manga and anime stuff. I really wanted to go to Kinokuniya when we were there, but we never had time and we couldn't figure out how to get there because one of the other rules about our trip was that we weren't allowed to take public transit. So we weren't allowed to take the subway, we weren't allowed to take taxis. Our only means of transport was supposed to be, like, getting on and off the school bus. We were not allowed to... Or not school bus, but, like, the travel bus that we had come in. We were not allowed to take transit to go anywhere. We had to stay within, like, certain areas of the city. Hence why I said what I did. We were only able to go to the Nintendo store because we were in the Times Square area. We weren't allowed to do it any other way. They were scared, and, like, to be fair, even with that rule, somebody on the trip did get robbed. The reason they told us not to take the transit was because they were scared we were going to get robbed, or that something bad was going to happen to us by taking the transit. Something subway systems being scary. And even with that limitation, one of the students did get robbed. We all had to stay on the bus for like 3 extra hours one night. I think like the second to last night of the trip. We had to stay on the bus and we couldn't go back to the hotel for like hours because they were trying to see if they could get this kid's like wallet and stuff back. And then they also like sat with him and taught him how to like call companies to cancel his cards, because you know we're all like freshly 18 very baby adults and don't know how to do this stuff, so we had to sit there for hours while this kid was like dealing with canceling his cards and like calling his parents to figure out what to do about like their cards, and goofy. We were there for a while. Baby's first robbery. Yeah, basically. It was quite stressful. We were all pretty worried about him. Luckily, he was fine. It's just that he lost his wallet because it was taken. Thicken up his skin? Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, it definitely sucks. But like, the rule was in place because they were scared of things like that happening to us via being on the subway or on the public transit. Because they thought that that would be where it would be most likely to happen. So they were like, no public transit. And we were like, okay, I guess. And this was kind of before they started implementing things like Uber and Lyft, where you could like ride share using an app. So that wasn't really an option either. We had to stay within walking distance of whatever area we got dropped off in. Did he get robbed on the subway though, or some alley? I think this was during the night time when we were... Where were we? Was this nighttime Times Square? I think so. Yeah, it was nighttime Times Square, I remember. Would be funny if it wasn't during free time. It would be pretty scary if it wasn't during the free time. But yeah, it was some like random spot, I think, in Times Square. I think it had just gotten taken while they were walking around. I don't really remember the full story. I just know that we were all stuck on the bus for extra time because they were trying to see what they could do about his wallet. Old robber confronting an entire school group. Oh no, we had been split up. As I have said, here's basically how it worked. We would go to area of NYC. We would have our mandated tourist trap thing that we were doing, or like whatever tourist like exploration of building or whatever the freaking heck, right? And then afterwards we would get a couple of hours of free time where, as long as we all stayed with at least one buddy, or like with our general like room group, like based on how we were roomed into hotels, which meant like groups of 4, you had to have at least one buddy who was like your designated buddy, but you could also be in your 4-person group. But as long as you were with somebody else, you could explore anywhere within walking distance of where we had been dropped off. As long as you made it back to the bus by a certain time, you could explore however you wanted during this like little bit of free time. So I believe at this point it was nighttime Times Square, and we had like 3-ish hours of free time. My friend and I spent it all in the same cafe because we both wanted to try New York style cheesecake. So we stayed in the same cafe eating a cheesecake together, which is very fun. It was very cute, and we people watched it. It was nice and comfy. And then we just stayed there the whole time because we didn't want to walk. We didn't want to walk anymore. We had done a lot of walking that day. So we didn't do anything else, and then we just made it right back to the bus. So I'm guessing what happened is this guy was walking with his designated buddy, or maybe with like a smaller group, and then got robbed. I don't entirely know the story. I truly don't remember. Kamino tea time, but New York. Yeah, sure. Basically. Surprised it didn't happen in broad daylight? Nope, it was nighttime. And then like I said, once we got back onto the bus with everybody else, we had to stay on it an additional like 3 hours while we waited for that kid to handle his business. They, like, called the police and everything, I think, to try and see if they could get it back or whatever, or just to, like, report it. I truly don't recall all of the information, but it was something like that. Anyway, why did this become about my New York trip? That was a very eventful trip. It honestly wasn't too bad. That was probably the most dramatic thing that happened. Otherwise, the trip was pretty fun. Did you spot anyone famous while you were there? I remembered half our group got their cab stolen by Emma Watson. What? That is a crazy story to just throw out. But yes, and part of our trip was that we got to see a show in the Broadway district, not an official Broadway show. It was like, I guess kind of off-Broadway would be the term. But we saw, there were 2 shows that you could choose from. I don't remember what the other show was. But like pretty much every girl on the trip chose to see Cinderella. And of course I would choose to see Cinderella because I love Cinderella. And our showing of Cinderella, Fran Drescher was playing the stepmother. That is probably the closest that I have to being near a celebrity. So that's what we had. That's what we had. There was also a different celebrity that was cast as Cinderella, but the showing that we saw, she was being played by her substitute, her alternate. So we didn't see her. I don't remember who it was. I forget her name. But we saw Fran Drescher at our showing as the stepmother. And it was very cute. When she came on and said her first line as the stepmother, the whole audience cheered. Yeah, the nanny. It was her. It was her. So that was pretty cool. That part of the trip was cute because we all had to dress up. Nobody else who went to this particular showing dressed up. It was just our class that did. But we were all told to dress up in like cute like skirts and dresses and like look really pretty. Treat it like a more formal affair. So we were all dressed up pretty to go watch this show. It was a fun time. But yeah, that was like the one celebrity encounter experience thing that we had on our trip. I brought some Junior's cake home for my family, and to this day my mom says she hates me for it because no cheesecake has ever lived up to it. It's to the point that they've looked into how much it would cost to get one shipped over here. I don't think we went to Junior's. It was some random cafe that said that they had the New York style cheesecake, so that was why we went in there. I don't think it was Junior's. I remember it being more of like an Italian style cafe. Yeah, I don't remember anything else about it. Fake being cultured, you chocolate-coated gremlins, that's in order. Yeah, the drama teacher was very much like that. He was very chill with a lot of the students. I liked him, he was nice. I wasn't part of the theater department much after my freshman year, but it was cool to hang out with him. Nice guy. By that point, he was like 90% retired, save for coming back to do stuff for the drama club, and then also choosing to be the chaperone for the trip. The chaperone on my trip made a point of taking us to try the 3 highest rated cheesecakes in New York. Remember thinking the other 2 were good, but Junior's had a unique flavor and texture that made it stand out for me. That's so cool! That's really neat. I love that. We didn't do anything too special. I guess our special thing was the fact that the drama teacher wanted to take us to see a musical on kind of not Broadway. Kind of Broadway, but not really Broadway. Broadway. Yeah. Oh, also, because it's happening in like 10 minutes, I'm gonna link this. But as you guys probably saw, Kaya is going to be part of an Ori song that's releasing for the Nikkei Creator Competition. It's an original song that was composed by her friend Ferris, and you guys might know Ferris because they also composed Nin with You and Dango for You. I believe Ferris composed both. But yeah. She's going to be singing with a couple other V singers. And they're competing in the creator contest thingy. So I am linking it. It premieres in like 9 minutes. So if you'd like to watch that to support Kaya, you should. I'm streaming, so I can't watch it. Unless you guys want me to watch it live, I suppose we could. Since it's an Ori song, I wouldn't necessarily get bonked. But you guys should watch it and support them. It'd be nice if they could get some recognition from the big Nikkei, you know? Live watch along. I suppose I could. Muted watch along. Big true. Big if true. But you guys should watch it. No matter what. It's OniMon, this is just part of the show. I mean, there was an entire OniMon that I did where I was just commenting over Kaya's stream once, so I honestly could. Are you excited for the direct? I'm nervous. I don't know what they could end up showing. And this is the first proper Nintendo Direct in a while, right? Like, everything else they've done has either been, like, dedicated to one thing, or it's been, like, a partner or indie showcase. So I'm nervous what they could end up showing. I don't know what to expect. Yeah, it's the E3 style Direct. I'm, like, nervous. There could be some cool stuff, though. Like, I'm kind of excited by the idea of there being something cool. I just don't know what it would be. I don't know what to expect. The fact that they announced a treehouse is because they're showing something cool. Well, I mean, some people are also theorizing it's just going to be showing more Star Fox. So the treehouse might be dedicated to showing off how Star Fox is gonna look, but I feel like they couldn't spend 50 minutes just, or not 50. 50 is about how long the direct is. The 95 minutes is dedicated to whatever big things they're showing, right? I don't think they could spend the whole 95 minutes on just Star Fox. So there has to be something else that's pretty big, right? But I don't know what that would be. I don't know what that would be right now. Probably going to get some stuff for, on that Fire Emblem they teased. I hope so. That'd be cool. Manifesting Fortune Weave. Ooh. True. True. I'm not really thinking about anything too pie in the sky, personally. I don't know what I would want to see, though. Rhythm Heaven would be something they would show at a partner showcase, so I don't think they would have a dedicated thing for Rhythm Heaven. I don't really know. Otome Direct. Bro, I wish. If there's ever an Otome Direct or an Otome Showcase, 1, hire me to be a presenter. 2, hire me to be a presenter. 3, I would be a very happy camper. But at least for the West, they usually don't do, like, showcases. They do, like... Sometimes the companies that localize Otome will have dedicated panels at, like, Western cons where they'll announce the new stuff that they're localizing. That's, like, the most we ever really get in terms of, like, big reveals, big drops. The closest was P-Cube Showcase that one time. Yeah, and they didn't even show that many Otome games, which is so sad. They haven't done it since then, either. At least not that I've seen. I hope they do another P-Cube Showcase someday with more visual novel announcements. Because you're right, that is the closest we've ever gotten. I'd love to see a new Smash, and it's been long enough it's a possibility, but I don't think it's happening anytime soon. I want him to rest. Don't make him make another Smash. Don't make him make another Smash! I think we might also see a Mario Kart World DLC announcement. Ooh, that would also probably be very likely, yes. Yuno gets the stream full demonoed by exploding live when presenting with Limbo 42 minutes in. I like how it's specifically 42 minutes in. No, I don't think so. I would be very professional, even if I got to mention my love for Limbo Fitzgerald. You don't understand. If I received an opportunity like that, I would lock in. You wouldn't even hear me talking like this. I would be like, "Hi, I'm Yuno Hanaki. Welcome to the Otome presentation. I am a VTuber that happens to love Otome games with my whole heart and soul." Like, I would literally sound like a robot, bro. I'm not fucking that up for nothing. I'm not fucking that up for anything. I'm putting on the customer service, perfect enunciation, locking in. 40 minutes of silence later while she stares at trailers in awe. No, I wouldn't be silent either. I mean, I guess I would have to be, because when you're a presenter, you just kind of talk in the in-between. You don't talk over it. Unless I'm being hired to like, narrate the trailer, which doesn't really happen for Otome games. For most Otome games, their trailer is just the opening movie with the like, theme song. Spaghetti Death Gripped. Not a single noodle is going to spill from my hands. This is not gonna happen. Don't ruin this for me. You hear, like, faint squishing of the noodles. Ranking boy chest sizes in each trailer. I don't give a fuck about boy chest sizes. You want someone who cares about boy boobs? Talk to Hitomi. I just like them pretty. I don't need nothing else. I don't give a fuck. Positive. Lovingly. Affectionately. I've seen you thirst, and has it ever been about man titties? The answer is no. I've thirsted for men, but never about their tibbies. That's not where my taste is. I really only care about arm muscles, to be honest with you. Arm muscles, I like hips a little bit. Yeah, that's kind of it. I'm more so like pretty faces. The one time I ever mentioned tibbies on boys is because I was making fun of the fact that in Bustafellows, it's only Limbo who has tibbies. Everybody else is very flat and skinny. They all have very twink builds in Bustafellows. Limbo is the only one with a little bit of meat on his bones. And that is the one time I've ever talked about man tibbies. Other than that, no. And this is a hill I will die on. Because I am very serious about this. All about that pretty boy face, certified Otome addict. Yeah. If only Watcher had titties. Thank God Watcher never took his shirt off in Bustafellows 2. And thank the Lord for that, it must be said. Oh shoot, okay, I have to... If we're gonna watch her video, we gotta switch to the game screen. Me who can't keep up with fucking anything ever. Okay. Let me... I have to get into position too. Hold, please. Considering she convinced her friend to make it sports, I probably have a little bit of time to do this. Where's the proper link? Hold, please. Yeah, it's fucking 5-minute sports. We're fine. To the surprise of no one ever. Alright, I have to fix the sizing. Can you lock in, please? Perfect. Alright, and then I have to move you guys to my side screen real quick. My second monitor. Watch Your Lover must be so sad. Who? Who's out here loving Watcher? It ain't me. Yuno not able to navigate YouTube in 2026? No, I can. It's just that the way it works on Twitter now when you're trying to grab links is really annoying. Convinced Read as my friends only open with this. No. Kaya herself specifically mentioned that she convinced her friend to sports. The YouTube Premie countdowns are goofy, but honestly kind of charming in a faceless, so random it's kind of peak kind of way. I hope they don't randomly get rid of them at some point, but knowing YouTube, they probably will. No! They can't do that. That's illegal. Are you saying now me with the sports? This ain't my show. This is theirs. I must say sports is banger. They'll remove it and replace it with something worse, like a 60-minute video or something. Oh god. Could you imagine if a premiere started and you had to wait another hour to actually see the premiere? You're the commentator? Am I? I guess. Today I am. Although for this, it really isn't going to be super interesting. It's just going to be me crying because my friends are so cool. I have worked with, well, actually, I don't think I've ever directly worked with Sale before. I worked with Karens, though. Karens was part of the staff for, the chorus that I was in for Matthew Sepia Days, the Idol English cover. Yeah, she did the art for that. For this, she did the music video. And, you know, I've written lyrics for Ferris's songs before. The 70-minute ad I got for diet foods while driving, I got to listen to 12 seconds of my video. Bruh. Yeah, I remember when they used to have ads that were crazy long, or like ads that were just like an entire movie. There was like a really famous one that was like watching grass grow for like an hour and a half, right? I do recall this. Do I need to do the 2x speed thing to catch up? Probably, right? I should do that now. What sick fuck puts that in? YouTube. Not the earthquake. Didn't the company submit their whole movie as an ad for the sequel? I wouldn't be surprised. That sounds like something that a company would do. Alright, we're locked in, gamers.
Reach up to the sky towards the shiny star. Twinkling, glistening, dazzling, dancing, bright into the night. Reach out to the sky towards a superstar. No dreams left behind.
Cute! Yellow one plays Yellow Woman. No, the image color that just showed up is green. The person playing the Yellow Woman is, Sail. Kaya's the green one. I feel dumb now, it's okay. So good.
Smiles like a meteor that paves the night with debris that goes for miles. I keep wondering why there's no point to even.
I couldn't tell either. That's why I'm here to clarify. I saw Sail tweet that she was singing as Anise, so Kaya's the green one.
Even if the world is all still black, cherishing the past for good and bad. Now beyond the galaxy, you're shining. Light becomes my hope and guide. I won't run away from the darkness anymore. I'll treasure ahead. So let's go beyond the stardom. Reach out to the sky towards the shining star. Let's go. Twinkling, glistening, dazzling, dancing right until the night.
So cute.
Reach out to the sky towards the superstar. With you by my side. A journey lies ahead. The fears are never shed. A step into a brand new future and shine the brightest in the sky tonight. In the spotlight we shine. Everybody now, our destiny's realized.
Rewind to fill time. Let's go. Cute. They did really good. I mean, I'm not surprised. This is a pretty stacked lineup for both vocalists and staff. Good job, everybody. Nice, nice, nice. Why did they include Smile Time? Because it's a fan creation. They're trying to, you know, win the creator contest and whatever the heck else they're doing. But yeah, that was cute. Good job, guys. Okay. Now I have to get back into position. I can't undo gamer position. I need to set a toggle for that. Like here. Maybe a little bigger. Bigger. Perfect. Move you guys back to your spot as well. Come here, guys. Grabs you. POV grabs you. Yuno's recommended. Back to sports with Yuno Hanaki. I just find the video that's like the 20-minute loop of the sports countdown, and I just talk over that for the whole stream. You know Rat Grab. I know, my favorite. I love Rat Grab. I really need to get an emote of me squeezing a Damadachi. Back on topic, I really wanted to be hyped for the new Crazy Taxi, but Sega's being stinky and using Gen AI to make it. Yeah, I heard that the person behind it mentioned something about how they generated ideas, and then they decided to, like, draw based off of the ideas that were generated. They used it as a reference, allegedly. But it's always a slippery slope. Allegedly, they used it as a reference and then had their artists draw based on that and refine it. But yeah, no, that is also a yikes from me. The minute something uses generative AI in any capacity for a project, I'm like, I'm sorry, can't support it. Eat ass. No thanks. With wife? No, I would get, unfortunately, bonked if I ever tried to have an emote that was a thigh squeeze. Streaming platforms don't like thigh squeezes, so we can't do that. Who needs ideas for Crazy Taxi? It's a taxi, you drive it crazy. I don't know. I saw the post, though, of the director being like, we had our artists generate ideas, and then after the AI generated the prompts, they drew and refined it so that it was no longer AI. We just used it as inspo, you know? And I was just like, blah, 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 boo, boo, blah, blah, boo, boo. So yeah, that sucks. The only reason Crazy Taxi is in the thumbnail for this stream is because you guys had been excited about it when it was announced during the showcase. Obviously that hype is now dead. I am sorry to be the one to kill it. There's also a disclaimer on Steam's store page for it as per Valve's rules. Some people find ways to skirt around Valve's rules for that stuff, though. Like, I've seen a couple games, like, change their wording so it's more vague how the AI was actually used. Looks at that Arcane Library game that changed how it was worded. Everybody decided to play that game when the AI disclaimer changed its wording. I didn't, because I remember what the original description was. You can't lie to me. You can't lie to me. You can't hide that shit. I guarantee you there are a lot of games that have come out that used AI in some capacity but no disclosure. Yeah, that's what I mean. They, like, changed the wording so it seems less bad than it actually is. So, Yuno, speaking of games, would you try Pokemon Champions after the mobile release? I have already played Pokemon Champions. I liked it for a time. Unfortunately now, meta's too sweaty. I just want to play casually, and now that it's establishing more of a meta, I don't think I will like it as much anymore. I liked playing in the beginning where people were being more silly and more goofy. I guess technically you can still be more silly and more goofy, but it's not as ideal because everybody's just gonna have the same team over and over again. But no, I played it and I liked it at the time. Not anymore though. Maybe Nintendo's Direct might release something about P6. Fuck no. Nintendo does not have that information. There's no shot. Sega, Atlas, Xbox just, like, had their big moment of dropping the teaser. They're not going to then allow Nintendo to talk more about it. Nintendo and Persona don't usually mix until way later. Way later. A lot more casuals to join after mobile release. I mean, I might do a stream or two on it. I don't know, though. Maybe a little. You can get in pretty big trouble for what you do or don't say there, but Valve unfortunately doesn't have the best history on actually enforcing this kind of thing. You also have to understand, too, tons of games are releasing on Steam, like, every day. Both small and huge IP, you know? It can be very difficult to keep track of it all. They can only do so much. At best, you'll get a sizzle reel for P4R as part of the partner segment. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if this particular Direct is going to have a partner segment, though. I feel like with the fact that they specifically mentioned it's a Nintendo Direct, we're going to be sticking primarily to Nintendo IP. We might get crumbs, but I feel like it would be a sizzle reel within a sizzle reel of other games that might eventually come to the Switch, you know? I feel like a lot of the primary focus is going to be on the Switch exclusives that will be coming. Or, like, Nintendo exclusives is what I meant to say. Sorry, my bad. I don't know how to talk. Things specifically coming to Switch via Nintendo. Nintendogs for Switch. I would literally... Guys, what should I do if they announce Nintendogs? What do you want from me if they announce Nintendogs? Because if they announce Nintendogs, I will literally do anything. Adopt? If they announce Nintendogs, I will literally go adopt a dog from the shelter right now. JK, I can't take care of a dog right now. I'd love to, but I can't right now. I'm not in a good place to do it. That game was built with DS and 3DS in mind. I mean, I don't know. Make the dog watch you take care of another dog. I'd cry. I can't do that. Pupperdachi. Guys, I'm gonna be real. Can I be real with you? I watched Oshi Snuggles for a while when Hiyori was streaming. And when she played the part of the video where she was looking at the animals in the shelter and they mentioned that little baby kitty that was so fucking eepy and his name was Onimaru, I was like, what do you mean his name is Onimaru? Does that not mean he is literally born for me? I wanted to throw up. I need that cat so bad. My heart swelled like 6 sizes bigger. I was just like, I can't handle it. He was just the eepiest, smallest little guy that was just literally in the palm of your hand. And he just looked so tired. And his name is Onimaru. And you're telling me I can't have him? This is messed up. This is targeted specifically towards me. I just remember how often she showed Chica the FNAF kitty. Yeah, that's because she kind of has to, because the Makazaku is lovely but brain rotted. Very lovely fan base, very brain rotted. They don't understand the joy that is Onimaru. The fact that his name has Oni in it was just so messed up and targeted to me specifically, and I wanted him so bad. What do I have to do to get him? What do I have to do to adopt him? It's so cute. That was honestly such a wholesome event. It was cute seeing everybody that came on stream to talk about the plushies that they were putting up for adoption. Seeing the auctions go crazy in real time was also very wild. People are very dedicated to getting stuff from their Oshis, huh? And it was all going to such a good place, too. Really cool. I guess that's the perk of, being, having the connections, that Hiyori Mokami does. She's really cool. I'm glad that she uses it for such really cool causes. Hiyori Mokami is really cool. She knows I think that about her, though. I, like... I watch her so much. Usually I'm working. But I wanted to, like, show my support during that stream because it was for such a good cause. But I just think that being able to do stuff like that is really, really cool. She talks to so many people. She's very well connected. She's very sociable. And then she has the actual, like, business connections, too. Because, you know, being able to partner with Kawa to make the auctions even happen in the first place. Being able to partner with the shelter and, like, interview people that work there and, like, get the footage from, like, being in the shelter to, like, see all the animals is also a big thing. She's very well connected. And she's really cool. Yeah, there were a few that went into 4 digits. So magical. As an autistic person, social people are like unicorns to me. I mean, I think that you can be on the spectrum and be really, like, hyper sociable. Yes, it makes it harder for you to understand social cues, but I think it's still possible for you to be, like, really sociable and likable. That extrovert buff. Hiyori is not an extrovert either, is the thing. I think that she just likes to interact with people. She just has really good energy. And it causes a lot of people to want to be around her. I never have, like... How do I express this properly? I love Hiyori Mokami. Every time I have spoken to her, I always feel, like, so much happier and brighter and warmer. Even if it's only for, like, 5 minutes. She just has that energy that, like, really makes you cheer up. No matter what you're talking about with her, it just feels like she just has this, like, really good energy to her. And because she has that really good energy, it just makes a lot of people want to be around her, and that's why she has all these amazing connections and is, like, able to be so sociable, because people just want to be near her, you know? She's definitely very magnetic. I thought this when Ephemera first joined Kawaii, but I was like, man, they all have such, like, unique skills that make them, like, destined to be VTubers. But I remember I specifically thought that Hiyori was, like, born to do this kind of thing. So I'm really glad that she's able to do it full time, and that she's in a place like Glitch Stars that is helping, like, get her more opportunities and get her more chances to be seen by people. It's really cool that she uses her connections to then, like, give back to communities and, like, do really cool charity events and stuff like that. I don't know. I think she's really cool. I could gush about Hiyori Mokami until the end of time. You make her sound like a siren. I mean, have you heard her sing? Like, that was just me talking about her personality as a content creator. We didn't even dive into the fact that she has a miraculous singing voice. She may as well be. She's really good. She's not a dog girl, she's a wolf. She does have puppy energy, though. Girlie's born to do this, and then me. I heard that brainworm whisper, grab it and squeeze. I didn't say it out loud because I knew you guys were going to get on my ass. I knew that somebody was going to be like, shut up, Yuno. And so I tried to keep it quiet. Stop looking into my brain. Stop finding the worms. I purposely avoided saying it so you wouldn't detect the worms. Leave me alone. Finding the worms and smashing them. Stop. No, get out of my head. Man. Rip and tear the braid worms. Rip and tear. But yeah, I don't know. It's just... I don't even know if I want to bother bringing it up. Because all you guys are going to do is tell me to squeeze the braid worms. Why bother? But yes, there was the unspoken afterthought. But I try really hard to not compare myself to other people. Some people just have different skills, you know? Things that they are better at. I'm still trying to find what I am better at. Where's the rat grab emote when you need it? So you guys can rat grab me? Or I guess rat grab the worms? Fair. I'll work on getting a rat grab, I promise. I have a list of emotes still that I've been meaning to get, but I have to wait until I'm actually able to invest in content stuff again. Currently, my funds are very, very fucked over right now. So I can't afford to get stuff for my content creation, but I plan to when I can. Worm grab. We'll get two versions. For me, it's a rat grab where I'm grabbing you, and then for you guys, you can grab the brain worms. I'll make them like the same purple as my image color. So you'll be like grabbing purple worms and squeezing. Yuno has her own special qualities. For starters, I think she gives amazing advice. Thank you. I mean, I try. I try to see things from as many angles as I can.
Yep, your soul will do.
Is the best I could do. AJ, thank you for the 9-month resub. Here's like $1. It's fine. Any little bit of money is money. Thank you. The rest of the Scooby-Doo gang would never solve anything without you. Thanks. Thanks, man. So true. I am Purple Velma. I regularly compare myself to Yuno Hanaki because I need your energy and charisma. Charisma? Where? Where? I mean, I try. Being cute? Okay, that is not true. There are a lot of cuter VTubers out there. I'm okay. I'm in the middle. I don't know about charisma. I don't know about energy. I have a form of energy. I don't know if I have charisma. Comparison is the thief of joy. I really try not to! I really try! Someone has the brain cell. I have the brain cell in me alone. That much I will agree with. Smartest VTuber. No, 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 no. There are VTubers that are like astrophysicists or doctors or like in more serious fields. I have a writing degree. I have a writing degree and I know how to read. That's it. That doesn't mean I'm smart. It just means I can read words on paper and on screens. That doesn't mean I'm smart. Oh shoot, the hype train. Wowee. Thanks, guys. I bet you can write better than all the doctors, because who knows what they wrote? She can literate. No way. Ah ha ha ha. Very funny. I know how to read while you're better than the median. I should amend. I know how to read and I like to read. I think that if more people liked reading, I think there would be people who are smarter than me. If more people liked reading and weren't traumatized by the amount of reading they had to do in school of books that they didn't like, then I think there would be people who are smarter than me. Yuno is more the smartest of the group of idiots. Thank you for your honesty. Because I think I agree with that. I think that assessment feels better. I've read more books than played games this year. What's happened to me? I mean, that's very valid. I feel like books are sometimes easier to consume like on the go for like busy people than games are. I think that there are less games that are easy to play like when you have a busy lifestyle. Especially if you're a person who likes to dive into like really heavy narrative games or like RPGs. It is so hard to play those on a casual basis. When you're like really busy and you like work and you have life stuff. The less you have in your life to keep you away from games, the more games you can play. The more things in your life that keep you away from games, the less games you play. And I feel like consuming books ends up being easier. I started reading on my commute to school and I read a ton of books this year. Yeah, exactly. I feel like books are just easier to consume on commutes. They're quieter. You can like more easily pick them up and put them down without having to like worry about where you left off. I feel like with games, I always kind of forget where I left off if I'm playing it like over multiple sessions. That less happens with books to me. I don't know. Maybe my brain is built different and built weird. Very likely. A likely situation for Yuno Hanaki. My brain instantly thought, why are you reading while driving to school? Well, I mean, yeah, if you're driving, don't. But I guess also audiobooks could be a thing. Which is a way to consume books. I don't hate them. Public transit, bus/train, so easy place to read. Yeah. I do hear that a lot. Like, if you take transit, you end up having a lot more time to read and such. the weight of my to-read pile. Literally, I had to box it up to move. Very, very fair. Still haven't finished American Psycho because I got really busy and I bought it at the start of the year. That's valid. I mean, you still have time. We're like 6 months into the year. You have another 6-ish to read. I think it's, personally for me, when it comes to finding time to read, I really like reading before bed. And also reading first thing in the morning. I feel like that's the best time for me to make reading progress. I don't know what your schedule's like, so I don't know if that necessarily works for you. But that's when I like to read the most. Particularly, I prefer before bed. But if I can't do it before bed because I'm too eepy beepy, I wake up in the morning and then I try to give myself a little bit of time to read. Same with journaling. I kind of switch off. It's either journal in the morning, read at night, or journal at night, read in the morning. Trying to do more analog stuff. Wish I had more time to dive into narrative games. I just play casually now because of it. Exactly. That's what I mean by, like, games are, like, way harder to consume on a casual basis, even for, like, commutes and stuff. Thanks for the hype train, gamers. I get caught between podcasts and audiobooks now. Fair. I've turned into a granny. I have to do a paper Sudoku with my breakfast. Oh, a girl me with a good crossword. I was helping Hitomi. Hitomi has been playing a lot of demos from the Thinky game showcase that we watched this past week. She's been going through a lot of the demos, and she was doing the demo for Rita, which is a game where you collect letters that you then enter into a crossword puzzle so that you can unlock parts of the level and, like, make progress. So I was helping her solve all the crossword puzzles. I was solving the crossword puzzles before we got the letters that were needed. So I was just sitting there, like, telling her what the words were. Yuno would destroy us all at Scrabble. Maybe? I honestly don't really understand the rules of Scrabble. A game I've wanted to get the full version of is Wordatro, though. It's been on my wish list ever since I played the demo, but I need to buy the full version. Wordatro being, of course, the Scramble, the, like, Scrabble version of Balatro. Scrabble is fun, you'd probably be good at it. I don't really understand, like, the point values, and I don't understand the rules of where you put things down on the board. Because I used to play Words with Friends with Hitomi a while back, but I didn't understand any of the words, of the, like, not the words, but I didn't understand any of the, like, gameplay rules. So Hitomi was, like, trouncing my ass because she understood the rules better, and I was like, I don't understand why it's not letting me put down this word. It's a real word. I didn't like it. If I could just put things down willy-nilly, then I'd probably win. But because I don't understand how the, like, movements of the board really work, I can't do it. Didn't understand any of the friends. When a girl with no friends plays a game that says words with friends but only knows the words part. That's me. That's why. That was my plan. Go to bed, click lamp, read for 1 to 2 hours. Did that for years. Then high-speed internet happened and YouTube ate my time. Then anime girls. Full circle.
It seems fate led you here. What a meaningful connection.
Makes sense to me. I feel you. I think the internet took me away from reading for quite a while too, but I always find my way back. It can't keep me away forever. Glasses boy. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in, welcome in. Went from video games to anime to VTubers. Seems like a pretty average pipeline, I'd say. To me, at least. Also, give me a quick sec, friends. I have to go to the little Oni room, and you probably can't hear this very well, but my water bottle is almost empty. It's been so hot today in Onigashima. God, I have my AC on and everything. Why is it so hot? But yeah, I'll be right back. I promise I won't fall in. didn't fall in. I told you. We're all good. She's been replaced by a sewer creature.
I don't see a problem. It's just me, Yuno Hanaki. I'm definitely the normal creature.
Oh, treating the room? Good way to show off your wealth.
Metal Seeds, thank you for gifting a community sub. Thank you, thank you. Uno is back. It's me. Yes. What were we talking about before I left? I think we were talking about, like, Scrabble and stuff, right? Yeah. You're welcome, sewer creature queen. The stream was cooler without you here. I fear you may be hot. It's terminal. No. I mean, it's fine. I'll take it. Better to be a hot girl than a lukewarm girl? Question mark? Mild girl? Speaking of hot, guys, I had so much spicy food today. Guys, it's crazy. So if you didn't see this morning, I was a little sad. I'm going through some stuff. Because I'm struggling with things. And, so Hitomi, gave me some money to get a breakfast burrito. And I got a breakfast burrito, because it was really yummy. And the thing about getting the breakfast burrito, though, is for the first time ever, I added hot sauce. And it was really good. I didn't think a day would come where I would want to have hot sauce on a burrito. But holy shit. It came with, like a packet of Cholula hot sauce. This is my first time ever having Cholula hot sauce, and it was really good. It tasted so good on the burrito. I keep thinking about it. And then,
It seems fate led you here. What a meaningful connection.
Mar? I'm guessing is how you would pronounce the name? Because I assume the L's are there for stylization. Thank you for the follow, welcome in. But then I added, bulldog sauce to, my mac and cheese tonight for dinner. Is that crazy? Maybe a little bit. Was it delicious? Yes. Oh my god, was it good. So both of my meals today, I had spice. And that's crazy for me. It was so delicious. And I realized that I probably was craving spicy food because I'm stressed out, and the brain chemicals that the spice activates was helping me deal with my stress. It was so yummy.
It seems fate led you here. What a meaningful connection.
Mei 123 billion. Thank you for the follow, welcome in. I keep forgetting I have a Twitch account. It's okay. I do not mind if you prefer chatting on the YouTube. It's valid. I get it. Is there any hot sauce you can't handle? Well, I still think I'm a bit of a baby. Honestly, I only really started getting better with spice when I joined Production Kawaii, which is now like over 2 years ago. That was when I started to like spice, I guess. Like I had finally reached a point in my life where I could eat spice and not hate it. I'm slowly opening up to more kinds of spice. This is the first time I had, well, first time, I mean, having the Cholula with the burrito, was the first time I had a spice that wasn't like Korean level spice. Because I like Shin Ramyun. That's like my go-to ramyun, which is like a spicy soup. And then I really like bulldog. But that was like the only kind of spice I had been having for like a really long time, was like Korean levels and flavors of spice. So this was the first time I had a spice that was outside of that, which was like Cholula, which is, I believe it's a Mexican type of spice, like a Mexican type of hot sauce. It was really good. So I want to eat that more. Yum, 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 yum. That was really good. She ate the boba pizza and gained resistance to poisons, including spice. Well, to be fair, I had the bulldog before the boba pizza stream. Because I did the spicy noodle challenge with Kaya. I had spicy noodles before then. The reason that I had spicy again was because I put more bulldog on top of the boba pizza, because that was one of the requested toppings. Which is so terrible, by the way. But yeah, I think I've been slowly building up a tolerance to spice ever since then. I used to be weaker, and I had to have the cream carbonara bulldog, which is like extra sweet, but still a bit spicy. But I graduated to the regular carbonara bulldog, and now I want to see if I can handle the regular bulldog with just like a little bit of cheese. I don't have the regular bulldog on me though, not right now anyway. And then with the Shin Ramyun, I don't really need that much in it in order to enjoy it. I used to have to put more cheese in to tolerate the spice, but now I really only add like a little bit on top, like at the end, so it's more of like an actual topping and not like in the soup. I like the soup more clean for the spice. I forgot how that went, the noodle challenge. We were okay. I don't think either of us really died. I think Kaya didn't finish hers because she just felt full. I had to force myself to finish mine because I didn't want to leave it. I didn't want to leave any leftovers. Was a struggle. Have you tried any of the K-pop Demon Hunters Bulldog? They had Bulldog? I knew they had Shin Ramyun, but I didn't know that they had a Bulldog flavor. But no, I didn't have the Shin Ramyun at least. I remember that stream. Yeah, that was a classic Kaya Yuno stream. That was also the stream where we found out there was a time where Kaya accidentally sat in her soup ramen. Like, she sat down on top of the pot that had the soup in it, and so her butt got covered in ramen soup. Still very baffling information. Whoops. Oopsies. How? I don't know. I don't think she properly explained it. She just sat in it. Is this a tiny pot or something? I think so. She probably used one of those like one-serving pots to make it, and then she just ended up sitting on it when she was doing stuff. She had it like sitting on her bed, and then she went to go sit on her bed herself, and then she just sat in the ramen. And at first I was like, so you sat in like stir-fried ramen? And she was like, no, it was a soup. And I was like, you sat in soup? And she was like, yep. And I was like, what? She still didn't really elaborate, yeah. That was about as much information as I could get out of her. Sometimes it can be really hard to be the Tsukomi to her boke because she just refuses to elaborate sometimes. And I feel like the whole point of being a boke is you have to be willing to elaborate. Would it be worse if she did it on purpose? Yes. Arguably so. If it was a chair, I'd believe it, but how does she happen to sit in the same spot on a bed as a pot? I wish I could tell you. How come you aren't paid for babysitting Kaya? Good question. Also, don't mind me typing. I'm sending messages for stuff on the side. I'm in soup. What do you mean in soup? I'm in soup! Literally us. I don't think Bulldog did a collab with K-pop Demon Hunters. I think Nongshim had an exclusive contract. Well, it makes sense. They were basically eating only Nongshim noodles during the movie, right? Yeah. She's not staring at us in silence. No, I'm not. I promise. Just taking care of some work and business. Yes. I feel like this is the time when Kaya appears from the woodwork. She's not always watching me. She's probably celebrating the release of that original song with her friendos. As they should, because it's very cute. It's a very cute song. I'm happy for them. Doing some writer stuff. Kinda. I guess a little bit. I'm coordinating, with Hitomi to figure out our plans for the morning. For when we hang out to, prior to the Nintendo Direct. I'm lame, I haven't listened to it yet. It just came out, like, about an hour ago, so you're not super late. Hold on. Let me get you the link. We watched it live together. So I guess you are lame, question mark, and that you weren't here when we watched it together. Hold, please. I mean, you can also find it in the Mialoon Discord. If you're there. But I'll just link it to you. No and PP. Stop appending that to my links, YouTube. I swear to God. Stop giving an and PP. There. It makes links look so ugly. Stop it. No PP. Yeah, I had to cut off the links, PP. No end PP. Anyway, they entered the Nikkei content creator competition thingy with an original song based off of the latest, not latest, but like one of the more recent Nikkei events. So, there if you care. Fixed it, so sad. It has to be fixed. No end PP. But yeah, you should watch. They did a really good job. It's a cute song. Kaya helped write the lyrics. I think she also did tuning and timing, according to the credits. So, as expected, Kaya Nishikino cracked as always. Man, my friends are so cool. My friends are all so cool. Oh, to be Yuno Hanaki and be surrounded by so many cool women. Don't grab the brainworm! There wasn't a brainworm this time! I'm just expressing that my friends are cool! Mwah. Yuno is so cool. I guess so. I don't really do cool stuff in comparison. One day I'll be cool. I'm working towards that goal. Grab the friend-shaped worms, now kiss. Make the worms kiss. True. Kaya would probably gladly kiss every woman in front of me. And then never smooch me. Which is good, because I don't want her to smooch me. Comparison is the enemy of joy. I know! You're the second person to say that today! But I can't help it. I'm trying to be better about it. I keep trying to think about things that I have that are different, but I just don't think that the skills that I have are as desirable. Which I think is an objective assessment. That one isn't meant to be self-deprecating. That's just meant to be a subjective... Or not subjective, objective observation. Blit. Definitely underselling yourself. Well... Eh. I'm doing the best I can. I'm a potato in a world full of, cheesy potatoes. That is the metaphor. Maybe you just haven't tried the thing you're good at. Try buying a gun. Why does that sound so much worse than you probably meant for it to sound? You can't just tell me to get a gun on stream during Pride Month. Christ. That's crazy. The Oiran gun VTuber. I don't want to be a gun VTuber. I'm good. Also, I'm pretty sure that market's already cornered by somebody. Not Oiran gun, but like gun VTuber specifically has probably already been cornered. I meant maybe you're a crack shot. Yeah, I'm sure that's what you meant. As that man's lawyer, I can confirm that's crazy. Joy is comparison of enemy, though? Yeah. The enemy of comparison is joy. You know what? True. Your order? He's just a little guy. Listen, Judge. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but he's just a little guy. He's just a tiny little guy, a little creature. He can't do anything wrong, therefore, don't make him guilty, please. Thank you. Yeah. Did your it? That's a pretty good one. I like that. Please explain the differences between gas-operated and delayed blowback operating mechanisms of rifles. I'm laughing because I thought of a really bad joke. I don't know if I should say it. Please share with the class. Why do you guys keep encouraging me to say my really bad jokes? Now you got up, man. I was just gonna say... You know what doesn't have a delayed blowback? Your mom. It's very stupid. It's not even good. I don't even know what I mean by that. That's all I could think to say in response, because I knew I was never going to have the right answer. Got him. Your Honor, tomato. You know what? True. You know, brain defaults to middle school humor when she cannot answer. Sending the report to the humor police? No, they're gonna take my humor license. I need that. How am I supposed to stream? No. Yuno's response to anything about guns. Penis mightier than the sword. You know what? True. Whoa, funny jail. Funny jail be upon ye. You were really using the license anyway? That's so messed up! What? Everybody's so mean to me. Everybody's so mean to me. What the hell? No. Your Honor, I'm being bullied by the court. Poor Buno. Yeah, poor me. Bailiff thump up. You outsmart me, but no one can outsmart Bullet. Well, Pen beat Sword, so Pen can probably also beat Gun. You may kill me with Gun, but I can spoil your favorite ending with Pen. So true. Getting a little late for me and I gotta get up pretty early. Good night, Yuno. Good night! I should probably not stay up too late for this stream either, to be honest with you. Because I'm gonna have to get up pretty early to prepare for the direct tomorrow. Well, rest well. Thank you for hanging out. Throws dictionary. No, don't throw that. We might need that. Kind of random, but this whole convo reminds me of that Ganon puts you in the crystal Northern Lion meme that was floating around. I don't think I've ever seen that meme. I'm surprised the new Game Freak game won't come out to Nintendo devices. Did you see the quality of the graphics on that game? I'm not surprised. That said, really excited for Beast of Reincarnation. It is on the wish list. We will be playing. I will be looking at that. I've been trying to avoid long-form games recently, because it's bad for numbers, as per usual. But I think that I will make an exception for that game, because it looks really good, and I've been wanting to play it for a while. So I'm excited for it. Ehehe. Nintendo cannot snare you into exclusivity if they can't shove enough hardware into their consoles to run it. That's what I'm saying! Have you not seen how crazy the graphics look? That shit can't run on a Switch. Maybe Switch 2 later. But I am not surprised that they don't have it on there yet. Nintendo will probably do another trio, Mario, Zelda, and Kirby. I don't know. I mean, I'd be happy if there was another Kirby. I don't think I'd really be that enthused about another Mario game. And I have never really been that enthused about Zelda. No offense, Zelda likers. Time for Switch Heavy, just 3 Switch 2s bolted together for more bits. That's literally what a Magneton is in Pokemon. It's just 3 Magnemites shoved together. So they'll call it Switchton. Switchton. Doug Trio could also be like a Doug Trio. They're unfortunately getting predictable. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't feel very predictable to me. Reminds me that I have a friend that crashes out anytime you bring up the Switch Lite to her. I mean, the Switch Lite was a little bit of a goofy thing, but I guess it's because they saw that there were enough people who weren't really playing the Switch docked that they might as well make a version of the Switch that doesn't need to be docked, or can't be docked, I guess. Doug Trioloon. Who? Mielton. I think they said a while after the Star Fox reveal, they still have at least one more surprise for this year. Maybe we'll get a cool announcement for Switch 2 tomorrow. I'm manifesting something cool. We'll see. Guest Smash announcement. No! There isn't going to be a Smash. Let the man rest. Ultimate is going to be such a tough act to follow. That would be so difficult. Tupac for Smash. Stop. In a time where finances are tight for many, creating a slimmed-down version with only what is needed and lowering the price is a-okay with me. Yeah, I don't really think a Switch Lite was, like, a terrible thing. I never had one, I just used my regular Switch, but I don't think it was a terrible choice. A little silly, but not terrible. Not a new one, extra guest characters? I don't think they would update it. I think they said that they were going to, that like around this point of the year, they were going to pivot to mostly talking about Switch 2 releases, right? Unless they have a Switch 2 edition of Ultimate. But I really don't think they'd bother to add more guest characters this late in the game. Who could they possibly get? There's a certain purple wah. I guess? I can think of a couple on the top of my head. Dante, Kiryu, Akira. Maybe. Yuno Hanaki. Yuno Hanaki is not going to be announced for Smash. I can't wait for Switch for Watt jokes in 2035. Honestly, me too. Those will be really funny. And they definitely won't get old. I gave it some thought a while ago, and the only two ideas I had for how to try to top it would either be make Ultimate 2 or overhaul every character. Those are the only two angles that came to mind that have any casual appeal. They just did so much work to make all the characters, like, fit in Smash. I feel like it'd be kind of really hard to overhaul every character. Ultimate 2 just also sounds awful. Can we just let the man rest? I think we should be happy with what we got. I really don't think they need to make another Smash, personally, in my opinion. It's okay to want that, if you want that. I don't, though. And I also just don't think it's really needed. Smash forward custom moves for each character? Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that's why if they then had to overhaul that entire roster, that would be ridiculous. I feel like they'll just sit on Ultimate for a long time until the series is ready to be taken up by a new head when they can really improve it in some way or it's become outdated. Yeah, personally, I think the only way that I would even remotely tolerate a new Smash would be if it was just not headed by Sakurai. The overhaul every character angle would presumably have a smaller roster, but won't people get mad because they finally got everybody that they wanted in Ultimate? If they went back to having a small roster again, I think people would be upset. Because, like, that's the thing. Once you make it as big as this version is, I feel like people are only going to expect bigger. Or more. I don't think they would settle for it shrinking down again. I think it would be interesting if they announced Melee, not a remaster, but if they announced Melee for the, like, GameCube, the Virtual Console. That could be a believable Smash announcement. Happens all the time in other games. I don't think it's out of the picture. I don't know. I just don't like it. Yuno's Smash ult wife. The camera zooms onto wife and then pans back just enough to confirm Yuno is thigh choking the target. Screen blacks out via tunnel effect. No knockback, 250% damage. Crazy. I don't know, man. Crazy message to join into? Yes. Correct. Typical OniMon. Day ending in Y. A Hanaki. Thigh squish of justice. They're not ever going to really have a thigh squish. I don't think they could do that. That would definitely make it very difficult to, like, stream. Because, like I said earlier, when it came to a thigh squish emote, a lot of streaming services aren't really a big fan of thigh squishing. Especially, like, thigh squishing POV stuff. They would probably never allow that. I think wife squish would actually heal the enemy. You hear the bone cracking, but then you lose damage, so you're back to, like, close to 0%. Legs, how lewd, some guy in the 1950s. True. Captain Falcon for Mario Kart. I mean, we mentioned before, there might be Mario Kart DLC. Unless you go to a platform that allows all of the most controversial speech and images to be shown on stream, such as BitChute. I have never even heard of BitChute. Definitely does not sound like something I would want to join, though. Yikes. What you're saying is we should make a platform fighter and Yuno should have a thigh squish attack. Who fucking said that? I mean, if you want to, sure. There are VTuber fighting games out there. Primarily for Hololive, but sure. I don't think I need to be there, though. I'm not saying it doesn't suck when your fave never comes back. I just think the pragmatic angle when changing your game up and adding new people is to leave a few old characters on the table, and maybe I'm the only one who thinks this way, but I don't think it would hurt to trim the fat of Smash's roster, so to speak. I mean, I do get what you're saying as well, but I don't know. I'm mostly just, I don't think that we need a new Smash Brothers. I think that Ultimate was a really good, like, I don't necessarily want to say final, but I think it's a good place to leave it still. I don't necessarily think there's a need for a new Smash Brothers on the Switch 2 right now. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Mialoon fighting game, but it's just rock, paper, scissors. Lin beats Yuno. No, hold on. How would the triangle work? Lin beats Kaya. Kaya beats Yuno, but I can't beat Lin. That wouldn't work. The creator of Smash almost went to the ER a few times when he went to work on the last two versions of Smash. That's what I mean! Sakurai is old and tired. I feel like if you're going to bother to bring back Smash Brothers, you should just have a new person lead it. And I guess just make it entirely new at that point. It's a triangle, but it's all aimed at you. That's just a V. You beat Kaya, Kaya beats Lyn, Lyn beats you. No, Kaya would be so mad if I beat her, because I don't think that would work for her. Let the next Smash be his final Smash, I guess. It would have to be really impressive if we were going to have a new game be the final game. Kaya is the rock that loses to paper. I think she'd insist she'd only lose to Lyn. And she'd insist that she beats me, so I guess that makes me scissors. So I guess I beat Lyn? I don't know. The final Smash character added to Ultimate should be Sakurai. That would be pretty funny. What a way to go out. The final character is actually Nintendo lawyers. True. He said Ultimate would probably be his final Smash, but that's also what he said after Smash 4 and Brawl. Well, that's what I mean. That's just why I think that we should let him rest. But I can't... I guess I don't really have a real reason for not wanting Smash besides thinking we don't need it and wanting him to rest. I don't really have a good argument. I don't play these kinds of games. I played a little bit of Melee with friends, and I did own Brawl and played Brawl, but I wasn't good at Brawl. I just fucked around. I mostly enjoyed the storyline. Hello, Hanaki, welcome in. Did you find out? I mean, yeah, because I was not good at the game. I was not very good. I sucked. In Brawl, there was really only one character that you could use. Yeah, well, it's okay. I only know how to play via button mashing. Ahaha, me. That's why I don't play fighting games. I'm a button masher, and people hate those. People hate those. So couldn't be me. Not gamer. Nothing wrong with button mashing. Tell that to the entirety of the fighting game community. They hate that kind of thing. That's why I'm nervous about the fact that I owe a fighting game stream to you guys, but I don't even know what game I'll play, because I just know that everybody's going to get mad at me, and it's gonna bring out all the sweats who are like, why aren't you using the epic button combos? And I'm just like, it's hard. It's hard, I don't like it. Dive kick. I know. I think when I first brought up that reward, everybody was saying that I should just play dive kick. I know. I guess that's an option. Or Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Miku boxing is a good idea. I mean, Miku boxing does look like it would be fun. That's not really a fighting game, though. That's just a punching to the rhythm game. Try that one free Hololive Fighter Idol Showdown? Maybe. You could, depending on what you're doing in the game. If it's story, it's alright. If it's online, good lord. Yeah, I don't know. There's a reason I haven't done it yet. I'm trying to figure out which game I'd even play. I like P4 Arena. Yeah, I have P4 Arena, and Ultimax. I like P4 Arena. The thing, though, is that the stipulation on the reward for the Yunothon is that if I lose, I have to do Batsu games. So I'd also have to prepare a list of Batsus. I don't think the listing said it had to be against viewers. So I guess I could just do a mode where I'm, like, going up against the CPU. But every time I lose, I'd have to do some Batsu stuff. And I have to figure out what I would do as a Batsu. Yuno plays Virtua Fighter as a Batsu. Why is the Batsu for losing in a fighting game just playing another fighting game? That's crazy. Go Batsu all day then? What the hell? That's if I'm playing against other people. But like I said, I don't think I don't think part of the stipulation was that I had to play against viewers. The Batsu is that you must be green until you win? Well, I'd probably win if I'm doing, like, the climbing the tower mode in P4A. I could get pretty far in that as either Yosuke or Yukiko. Thank you! My mains in P4A are Yosuke, Yukiko, and Rise, in case anybody was wondering. In case anybody was wondering. Wheel of Exercise? I mean, I guess. That is usually a go-to Batsu. Who would win, Green versus Urpel? Urpel. Green is nerfed power level-wise. Within the lore, purple is what happens when Yuno finally taps into her true Oni self and becomes, like, all-powerful. Well, not, like, all-powerful, but she's strong. The fact I got her name wrong the other day is still bringing me much shame. How will I rid myself of this shame? You have to play P4A now. As Yukiko. Or maybe your punishment should be that when P4R comes out, you can't romance her in your first playthrough. You have to romance somebody else. Dooms you to romancing Rise.
Your soul will do.
Dooms you to romancing Marie. Right in! Thank you very much for the 4-month resub. The almighty Yunoni, able to go more than one day without saying I hate it here. Yeah, it's true. Because I don't hate it here right now. Doomed to romance Teddy. We don't know if they have BL in the game yet. Uno must be Dere Dere or Soon Soon. I mean, Soon is easy. Dere Dere is also easy. Anything where I have to do some sort of roleplay is going to be a pretty easy Batsu for me. Because I don't really see that as a punishment, I just see it as roleplaying. Not Rise, not that. Wow, be nice to Rise! She's cute! I'll romance Chie. Sure. Whatever works. The imbalance in romance option likability in Persona 4 is brutal. Yeah. As someone who loves Yosuke Hanamura, I have been seeing a lot of people praying and coping that there might be a romance route for Yosuke, because there almost was one in the original P4, so maybe they'll finally give it to us. But there's a lot of copium. We gotta hook up Kanji too. Man, Kanji, he's so cute. I love him. I really like the boys in P4. Crazy that Yosuke Romance got so far in development that it was even voiced in English. Because they know the truth. They know the truth. They know what things are meant to be. Shakes fist. Which is why I'm really hoping that they've seen the light. There's supposed to be a dedicated presentation that they're doing on the Atlas YouTube channel, I think on the 18th of June, where they're going to reveal more details about the game. And people are joking that maybe at the last possible second they'll drop that Yosuke is a romance option. But maybe we are also coping. That'd be really cool, big if true. I would love that personally. Well, listen, Yosuke is my favorite Persona character in all of ever, so it doesn't matter to me. As long as he's there, I'm happy. And he looks cute. I like the way that they draw him in the new art style. So I'm happy. They add BL, but it's only Teddy. Fair enough. I'll just choose not to romance him. That's the thing about the social links being options, is that you have options. It's not even like you have to romance Yosuke just because he's there. Like, if they make Yosuke be a BL option, you could just choose to not romance him. People don't have to, like, flip shit about it. It'd be the same if they chose to make the BL route any other character. If I don't like the character, I could just be like, well, not doing that route. And that's fine. If they ever make a female DLC, they're not going to. With how adamantly they hate, with how adamantly they despise the presence of the P3P female protag, they are never going to make a female protag for P4. Never, ever, 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 ever. They're not gonna do it. They refuse. They will drop the 5 minutes and 12 seconds kiss animated cutscene with Yosuke, and I will watch every single second of them locking lips. My eyes will be glued to the screen. What about for P6? If they decide to do female protag for P6, that'd be pretty sick. Personally, I think that would be a really great way to deviate. Have the first 5 games all be male protags, and then P6 it's default female. Would that not be awesome? I think that would cook. I think that would serve some heat. Me mashing the record button like you in the P4 anime. Yeah. Yeah. P6 protag Igor. I mean, that'd be kind of fun. The idea of playing as a younger Igor would be kind of sick. That's as long as the devs don't mess that part up. That's true. As much as I love Persona games, I don't fully trust them to write women. So I don't know how I would actually feel about a female protag. But who knows? No idea. We're all forgetting the best pairing in P4 is Nanako x Junes. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
Every day is great at your Junes. Isn't it such a fun jingle, big bro?
You know, considering the spiritual shape of the next bro tag, true. I'm already thinking about his aura. I'm throwing Yuno into the TV? No! Don't do that! Heaven starts playing in the background. Reminder that the P3P FMC is one of the few times they brought a woman on as a lead writer for the series, and they've never done it again since then. Have we ever thought about this? Have we ever thought about this one? Yeah. Is green the shadow? My shadow? Maybe.
You're not me.
Watashi janai. Persona writers when women fumbles bag. That's what I mean. I don't trust them. It'd be cool, but they'd have to agree to bring on another lady as the lead writer. But will they do that? Debatable. Hire Yuno. I mean, I'd love to work on a localization. Persona writer when queer character fumbles bag, picks up the bag, rips the bag in half. How could the bag do this? That's what they do. That's what they do. But we're not here to have that conversation. Eats bag. Sorry, we're out of bags. How the fuck did they write a trans character into Catherine but can't do it with Persona? Wasn't the lead writer for Catherine also a woman? Question mark. I don't actually remember. Can't wait for the renewal of the Naoto and Kanji discussions. I am going to die. I'm not playing that game on stream because I refuse to deal with the discourse that's going to come because of Kanji and Naoto. I refuse, bro. I refuse. I can't deal with it again. I am going to hide in my hole where I'm going to play P4 by myself in my happy little echo chamber of just me. I'm not even going to engage with the fandom. I'm just literally going to play the game by myself in my corner. Never interact with anybody about it. I can't do it, bro. I'm not doing this again, guys. I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to deal with the discourse again. Are you talking about Kanji having a crush or the character assassination that people are trying to do? All of it. I think everyone on all sides are just pretty stupid. But like, I don't wanna unpack this bag. I really don't. I really don't want to. I can't do it, man. I can't. I'm not strong enough. It gets so bad. I really missed that when playing. Good. I hope you miss it again when you play P4R. Do not engage with the fandom. Just have your own opinions in your own little corner. It'll be better that way for your sanity. Fandoms were a mistake. Ay. There are just a lot of issues that come about because of how certain things were approached in the original game. I wonder if it's going to be tweaked at all for the remaster. I'm not holding my breath, but I don't want to deal with it. You know, Hanaki in her friend corner, it's a one-person table. Persona opinion good. Yeah, that's me. Alone in my corner with my thoughts. Let us know if it's better than P4G. Oh, I'll probably let you guys know what my thoughts are, for sure. I'm just not gonna engage with the fandom or the media outside of me playing the game. I will be chilling. I'm good. I'm good, thank you. Anyway. Persona 4 BL romance changed my mind on the tablecloth. No, it would say you can't change my mind because I'm not looking for debates. I saw one version of that going overhead meme about the queer parts of P4 where the thing that was going over the viewers' heads was the writing is too shit for either interpretation to fully make sense, and it's lived rent-free in my head since. Honestly, that is probably the most real take to have about both of those characters. God, did they fumble the bag so hard with that. Oy. I just want to smooch Yosuke, man. I don't care for much else. Every time I play Persona 4, I max out Yosuke's social link so fast because I love him, and then I can't hang out with him afterwards because I've maxed his social link.
Do better.
And I get sad. I do it to myself. I speedrun the social link, and then I'm like, okay, now I can't hang out with Yosuke anymore. And then I'm emo about it. That's how serious I am about my love for him. Conrad, thank you for the $6.90 tip. Haha, nice. Uno's back again on OniMon. Tell a friend. True. Suffering from success. Married him so fast you forgot to date him. Listen. I just love him so much. I just want to spend all my time hanging out with him. Me spacing out my social links with characters so they don't think I forgot them. That's very fair. You probably play in a more time management friendly way. Meanwhile, I just love Yosuke. Yosuke is Buno's Oshi? Yes, actually. Like, genuinely, out of all of the Persona characters of the Persona games that I have played, which is 3 and 4, and a little bit of 2, Yosuke is my ride or die favorite character. Genuinely. Truly. I love him so much. I could ramble about Yosuke Hanamura for like... I could probably do like a 5-hour stream about all of the things I love about him. I'll be so for real. So like... It's serious for me. Always has been. You haven't played 5? I have explained this before. I had been interested in 5, but there was a person in my life who traumatized me, for lack of a better term, and they associated themselves very heavily with Joker from Persona 5. So I can't look at Joker without thinking of that person. And so I never got around to playing the game because it was associated with that person who hurt me. Which is a bit of a bummer. I think I probably would like Persona 5 if I could get over that issue that I have. It's very much a personal issue, and there have been times where I've thought about, like, finally getting over it and trying out Persona 5 finally, but I couldn't play Persona 5 because of that person. If only Atlas allowed game modding. So you can imagine my pain when I was still dealing with that situation when Joker was announced for Smash. You can imagine how I felt in that moment. The whole vibes of the reveal were so cool, but the fact that it was Joker... Yeah, that was not a great time for me. For me personally, it's the best I ever played, but I do understand your reasoning and it's a bummer. It really is sad when like a person or like a situation makes it so it's really hard for you to consume a media. Because the same thing happened to me with Nikke. I had a really bad falling out with a friend, and the friend was like the main person who got me into playing Nikke. And because that falling out was so abysmal, I like left the Nikke guild that I had been in because they had started it. And so like I left after that like bad friendship crash out. And then I just couldn't open the game after that. I had already kind of been not playing because I had been focused on my VTubing career at the time, which was part of why we ended up having the falling out, unfortunately. Because they were... I don't want to talk about that too much. It's not really something I need to air on stream. But, like... I had already not really been playing anyway, because I had been too busy, but I now just, like, can't open the game personally without thinking about it. Especially because I removed, like, the entirety of my friends list there. It's just me now, basically, and, like, maybe a small handful of other friends. But I still can't really play it. My passion for it just left at the same time that I had those issues with the fight. I guess it wasn't even really a fight. Whatever. I don't know how to classify it. Falling out is probably the best word. Nikke has a cutscene where you get guilt-tripped for not playing for a long time. Oh yeah, that part wouldn't get me. I've seen it so many times because of how many times I would have to take long breaks from playing it that it doesn't affect me. I just hit skip. I'm like, yeah, I know you're mad at me. I get it. Skippa. But I just can't actually play the game now. I haven't played it in a very long time, which makes me so sad. I had loved Nikke. I had been playing since it first opened. I was like super serious about it. But oh well. Mad until you hit skip, then they love you again, basically. Me and 100% orange juice. There. Pat, pat, pat. I know everybody has their, like, game that is hard to go back to for XYZ reason. I do think that it's been enough time from that pain that I could probably consider playing P5, but unfortunately, it's still so easy for me to remember that situation the minute I start talking about P5. So every time I think I'm over it, my brain's just like, hey, remember? And I'm like, man. I hadn't for a while. Anyway. But yeah, 3 and 4, therefore, are like the main games that I've played a lot of and have experienced the most of. Including some of the side games. I played P4 Dancing. Obviously played through Golden. P3P. I never completed the answer in the original P3. That's because going from P3P to playing original P3 in order to get to the answer arc was very awful. Very, very awful. The quality of life changes they made in P3P were too nice. So I guess if I'm ever going to experience the answer arc, I would probably have to play through P3R and then get through the answer DLC. The answer sucks, IMO. I mean, valid. Valid take. I've always just wanted to play it to finally, like, understand it. Because it wasn't available in P3P. It's still bonkers to me that P4 is the first game in the series with the ability to control your party. I know, right? My cousin dogged me because he said the answer wasn't canon, but when it released for P3R, boy did the turns table. And I mean, I guess that's how people are going to feel now with P4R, including Marie from the get-go. Like, the fact that it's already starting with all of the P4G stuff. So now P4G is, like, being canonized. And it looks like at least it's going to be there from the beginning. I was very concerned that they were going to try to make Golden be DLC, but I'm glad they're not doing that. Kind of hard to do with a character like Marie who is integrated from the very beginning. P4G wasn't already canon. I mean, there were probably some people who would try to make arguments, and there are also a huge amount of people in the player base who hate Marie. People fucking hate Marie, so it would be very easy for people to try to dismiss it as non-canon if she was only included as DLC. P4G was always the canon one, at least it's how they treated P4G. Sure. But there are still going to be plenty of people who are purists. Specifically because they didn't like Marie. I didn't think Marie was that bad. And you are valid for feeling that way. Fandom didn't really agree, from what I've seen. Persona canon is silly. The dancing games are canon, for example. I love the dancing games. Just port them to Steam already, Atlas. I would willingly deal with the Persona fandom if it meant I had to subject them to the dancing games again. Give me the dancing games. Pretty sure the spin-off sequels treat P4G as canon. Well, yes. I'm not arguing what Atlas says. What I'm saying is... What I'm saying is people would have argued that that would make Marie non-canon if she was only included as DLC. I'm not trying to argue what Atlas thinks. I'm saying what the fandom thinks. You don't have to tell me what Atlas does. You don't have to cite the ancient magics to me, my dear witches. I was there when they were written. Why is the fandom dictating canon instead of the writers? To be fair, the writers are not the greatest. So it's not common in a situation where you have bad writers for an IP where the fandom tries to dictate what they think might be canon. Fandom thinks, pick one, you know. They can think, but that doesn't mean that they're right. I'm not even trying to say that they are. I am just expressing what I have seen the fandom express. I am being a mouthpiece of what I have seen the fandom express. But I'm not saying I myself believe it. I personally don't really feel one way or the other about Marie. I'm very neutral towards her. Ugh. My nose is so itchy. Another Yuno Hanaki-ism is my nose getting itchy. Anyways. I mean, there were some other games that I thought looked cool. Besides Persona. I know Persona's kind of been the bulk of this stream, but I promise you, there were other games that I thought were cool. Beast of Reincarnation being one. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I want to play that magician game, where, like, it's the magician who's been brought out of the depths of hell and has to try and fight for his freedom. That one looks pretty cool. So that's on my list. The Clockwork game looks really fun. So that's on my list. Like, I added a bunch of games. The Devil X Magician Yaoi game. Well, we don't know if it's yaoi yet, but there is some tension. There is some tension that's kind of exciting. And then, like... there's other games, I promise. Something that I was thinking about, I got more interested in games from, like, the other showcases than I did from Wholesome Direct, which kind of surprised me. I thought that Wholesome Direct still would have been the clear winner. But... I don't know, I feel like this year's Wholesome Direct just wasn't really aimed at me. There were a handful of games. Like, the first two I remember being really hyped, and I was like, oh boy, if the whole showcase is this, we're going crazy. But in the end, there really wasn't that much. Two guys are at odds with each other, you know, oh, the romance opportunity. I'm actually not that into enemies to lovers. I'll be for real, but I do think the chemistry between those two is pretty fun. I liked the devil having so much confidence in Jacob. Something about that energy is nice. Too many city builders? Yeah, I guess so. A lot of it was just, like, city management, like, building type stuff. Which has just never really been my preference. I can get why people find it cozy, because it's kind of low stakes in that way, but I don't have that level of creativity in my brain. I like being told what to do by a game and fulfilling tasks on a checklist and not having to think about where I'm going to put stuff in order for it to look aesthetic. It's why it gets really hard for me to consistently play games like Animal Crossing. It's why I fell out of love with Pokopia. Like, a lot of it's just, once I no longer have the directive of, like, a narrative to follow, and if I have to make decisions about how things look and where they go, I don't like that. I want to be told where things go, and then put them there according to the instructions. And then if I can choose some of the aesthetic stuff, that makes me happy, but I can't fully construct, like, a town or, like, an island or anything like that. I guess I'm more of an interior decorator than exterior, because when you're doing interior decoration, you usually get to, like, have a little bit more picking and choosing. Like, I like the happy home designer aspect of Animal Crossing, where, like, you get the theme and then you decorate based on the theme. Love doing that. I could decorate houses in the Happy Island Vacation Home DLC for hours. Because they give me free reign with all of the, like, tools to fill the house. But, like, I don't like having to choose where house go, and I don't like having to decorate outside of house. I like to decorate inside of house. Also, a game I have not been able to get out of my head that is very surprising to me, Kemuri. That's from the State of Play. But I really want to play Kemuri. I don't own a PS5, though, so I have to wait for that to come out for PC. But I really want to play Kemuri. I keep thinking about it. Not just because of the song being a banger, I just really liked the aesthetic. I like the idea of being a yokai hunter and hunting yokai. I think I should play one of Miss Ikumi's other games. Because she has a couple games that are, like, modern Japan with like a little bit of the like folklore aesthetic that I really, really like. So maybe I should play one of her other games. I think I have a couple of them on my wish list and just have never picked them up. Maybe that's the solution. Ghostwire Tokyo looks cool. I believe that was one of her last ones. Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo. I really liked the look of that one too, which I know is surprising for someone like me to say. But I just really like how she combines like modern aesthetics with like the occult, like spiritual side of Japan. I just think there's something about it that's neat. So I feel like I want to play one of her other games. Maybe to like prepare myself. I want Kemedi to come to PC eventually. Surely it will, right? Right? Am I coping? Interior crocodile, gator. Let me design my in-home theater. You're right, that is me. I played Ghostwire Tokyo. I find it rather meh, unfortunately. Aw, that sucks. Yeah, I was never really able to pull the plug on purchasing it, because it was never on sale. At least not for sales that I was able to pick up. So I never grabbed it. But it did look like a game I wanted to try, which is very different from things I'm usually into. But I really want to play Kemedi. Which is crazy, because I never thought I'd be into a game like that. But I want to play it. Got it for free on the EGS? God damn. That's pretty lucky. But also, ew, epic, ew, ew. Boo. It definitely has horror elements to be prepared for that. Yeah, but if it's not zombies, I think I can handle it a little bit. Even if it scales me. I do, therefore, think that the Yokai Hunter aspect of Kemedi would not scare me. I just think it looks fun. Epic bad, free game good. Yeah, I guess, but then it's tied to Epic Game Store, so ew, Epic. Ew. Ew. Yuck. But we'll see. I don't necessarily know if I'm going to play Ghostwire Tokyo. I was just thinking that it'd be nice to check out one of her other games, maybe, while I wait for Kemedi to come to PC. When it does come to PC, I hope you guys consider getting it so we can play together, because it has co-op. Smile. Let's fight yokai together, smile. I might. Yay! Yippee! Yippee! Like I said, it's only if it comes to PC, though. We're probably gonna have to wait a while. Because I'm pretty sure it's PS5 exclusive for now. I will be listening to that theme song, though. So good. If it comes to PC, I'd probably pick it up. Yay! And then I'll make you all play with me. And I'll make you carry me. Yay. I love this for me. Ooh. Whoa. Suddenly my head hurts. Is this going to be one of those nights where I have an icky headache? Please no. I have to get up in the morning. Pain, go away. As soon as I say that, it hurts again. Ow! I blamed the Persona discourse a while ago. Belated headache attack. Ugh. It's on, like... It's in, like, half of my head. Above my left eye. And kind of in the back of my left eye. Why? What for? For what purpose? Atlas lawyers spying through the brain to ensure copyright compliance. Bro, I'm not even doing anything! I'm just talking about Persona! Those are worm tremors, firing worm grab laser. I hope they're not worm tremors, because that means I'm going to have a big bout of depression tonight. On top of a headache. I don't want that. That's the Persona pain. No! Get me out! I don't want this!
痛いの痛いの飛んでけ
True.
My head.
The only reason I like the JP track in P4 is because Teddy says Perkuma instead of Persona. I love JP Teddy. I like all the Kuma puns too. Like the fact that Yosuke and Chie call him Kumakichi to make him sound like a pervert. Meanwhile, Yukiko calls him Kuma-san because she's very polite. Mr. Bear. I mean, I thought he was one. Well, yes. They're not incorrect from saying the nickname. It's just that it's funny that they do it. It's funny that they do it. They don't really... The nuance doesn't really come across that way in the... At least the original EN localization. They just called him Teddy. Or Ted, I guess. And they did try to use, like, honorifics to an extent, but they didn't have Yukiko say Teddy-san. They just had her say Teddy. No one really used honorifics with Teddy. He doesn't say Bearsona, missed opportunity. Yeah, he usually just says Persona from what I remember. Although he does say it like kind of funky. Persona! He doesn't say it like Bearsona though. Maybe they'll change it, fingers crossed. They could! Like I mentioned earlier, some of the screenshots did show that they changed how the characters address each other. Like, Yosuke actually refers to Yukiko as Amagi. And I believe he uses Amagi-san in JP. So there's a chance that they're trying to localize it to make it fit a little bit more with how their actual friendliness level is in the JP. So, who knows? They could change it up. Maybe they'll have Teddy make more bear puns. He made some pretty good ones in the original localization, but would be fun for there to be more. Please no, please yes. We still get a giant Gyudon bowl. I mean, it looks like they're still planning to have, like, silly ways to hang out and interact with the characters. One of the scenes they showed from Chie's social link was you two getting beef bowls together, so it looks like you can still get the big beef bowl. You better stay away from Yukiko, he won't. But it's fine, Yukiko will always keep him at a respectable distance. Also, you're not allowed to say that because you're not going to be dating Yukiko in your first playthrough. Don't you mean Akiko? Yeah, see, retribution. I hope we can hang out with Adachi for no real reason. I hope Adachi has to buy us ramen. I hope we get to make Adachi buy us food. I want to drain that man's wallet for no particular reason. Give us an option to give that man a cabbage. I hope it's literally labeled that way. Give that man a cabbage. Make him suffer. Adopt you when you ask him for food. Aw, man. Aw, shucks. I mean, you are a kid. I guess I should treat you. Maybe I'll choose just being the best Oni-chan to Nanako. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. Man, it's already been 3 hours. Shoot, I was only planning to stream for like 2. Can I choose Margaret? Yes. You can choose Margaret. It just can't be Yukiko in your first run. Woohoo! Goal! I don't know if I ever posted it here, but I got the villain of P4 spoiled for me because they announced him as a playable character in P4A and his inclusion was a huge spoiler. Yeah. That's fair. You could look at P4A and be like, huh, why is that character here? And then you're like, oh. Also, I feel like that would also happen if you played P4 Dancing, because then you see that he's included in that and you're like, what? He's not just a guest character? Why does he get his own Oh. Oh no. That sounds like such a nightmare. I'm so sorry. But that is a little funny. We are getting better at time-locked Oni. Next joke, 1 AM. You dressed for tomorrow? Yes, I'm planning to get up a little early. And you know, stream is starting at 9:30 AM, which is pretty early compared to when most Yuno Hanaki streams have been these days. So I want to make sure I'm actually like awake and functioning by the time I start the stream. So I was planning to get some rest a little bit early. In morning. 6:30 PST. I know, sorry. I know. Blame Nintendo Direct for always being in the morning. At least it's not like true ass o'clock. This is honestly a bit later than they usually have their directs. 10 AM is a bit later than normal. Only by like an hour, but still. A friend just showed me that they fixed Chie's bad AF back posture. Game is ruined. 0 out of 10. She's finally seen a chiropractor. She has to have better back posture considering she's a martial artist and all. Anyways. But yeah, I should probably try to get some rest because it's gonna be early. 100% morning, the true ending. Yeah. Yeah. I need to try and be good, because I want to make sure that we can watch it and that we can have excitement. We want excited Oni and not EP1, so... Ooh, I gotta be ready for that. I mean, I'd probably be up early regardless, but... Still. Need to sleep now? I don't know if I'm gonna fully go to bed, but I need to start my wind-down routine so that I can be in bed by a decent time. Because again, getting up early. Important. She draws Marshall. Ha ha ha. Video babes. Yes, we talked about a lot of them. Mostly Persona. This ended up being mostly a Persona stream. And then tomorrow we'll have Nintendo announcements to talk about, so we'll be able to talk about Nintendo games. Bim Bambo Babes. As per thumbnail. I mean, true. I was hoping to talk about other ones too, but brain kind of got hyper taken over. Whether theorizing about what's going to come with P6 or crying about P4. Fans like Persona Fork Found in Kitchen. I mean, yeah, that's fair. I've never played a Persona game on stream, but I have mentioned my love of Persona. I will not be playing P4R on stream, but we'll probably do P4 Arena for the fighting game stream with the Batsus. And then if they ever decide to throw me a bone and put the dancing games on Steam, which I kind of doubt, but it'd be cool if they did. If they ever decide to do that, then I would probably stream the dancing games. Or spin-offs. You can do P3R just for the lulz? I don't know, man. Maybe. It just... I love JRPGs, but they're so bad for the algorithm. It just takes so much time. It is so bad. It's so bad. You can't really finish a JRPG in one session. Looking forward to seeing you play a fighting game at least, I guess. I mean, I'm probably just gonna play against the CPU because I'm scared to play against humans. I'd get my ass kicked. But I did like P4A when I played it. So it'd be fun to show what I am capable of, if I can remember how to play. I'm probably gonna have to replay the game again for a little bit and try to get used to the characters. I'm definitely rusty. I haven't picked it up in ages. Yuno versus that guy who spent 10 hours min-maxing his setup. Yuno versus that guy who actually knows how to use button combos versus me who just mashes and prays. Explodes. Blows up, dies, blows up, dies, blows up, dies. That would be me. So instead, I'm just gonna play against the CPU. And I will probably still lose against the CPU quite often, so... we'll still get boxes out of it. What if you're secretly super good and don't know since you've never PvP'd? I don't think so. That'd be funny, I guess, in a way, but I don't think that's possible, genuinely. I don't think, Hanaki could ever be good at anything like that. First match, Yuno versus I hate Mash A's, good sign? No. Anyway, don't worry about it. This isn't going to happen for a little bit yet. I know I still owe it, but I have to get my courage up and I have to play the game a little bit off stream to rekindle my understanding and knowledge so that I don't look like a total fool when I do stream it. And I'll also have to figure out all the boxes I'm gonna put on the wheel for the punishments, which means, yes, you are going to get spin again. I don't have a purple chibi, though, to use for spinning. I'm gonna have to see if I can find a artist that I can get a quick chibi from so that it can be purple instead of green, but you're probably going to get the spin audio back as part of the wheel. Spin. It'll be good. One benefit, I guess. But yeah. That is it for this stream. I think I should wrap up so that way I can start my wind down routine and get some rest in. So I will see you first thing in the morning for Nintendo Direct. Hopefully there's some cool stuff and it's worth waking up for. Hopefully. And then I'm still planning to do Fishbowl in the afternoon. I don't think I'll watch the Treehouse. Unless there's, like, something really cool they're gonna showcase at the Treehouse. But probably not. So I probably won't watch the Treehouse. I'll just watch the Direct portion. And then probably go back to bed for a bit before stream. But yeah, we have Fishbowl tomorrow afternoon after the Direct. And then, on Wednesday, we have Lover's Enigma. We'll only be doing the common route. Once we get to actual, like, route sections, I'll be stopping, because I'm gonna do a video on the routes. No stream Thursday. Friday, members only. Make sure you have Super Battle Golf, because we're gonna be playing Super Battle Golf. It's not golf with your friends this time, it's Super Battle Golf. So you better be ready to play Super Battle Golf with me. Get the game if you don't have it. It's pretty cheap. And then no streams Saturday, and then Sunday Inconveni, because I didn't do it last weekend. Because, I decided to watch and be a React streamer instead. Sorry, it'll happen again. Is that on Patreon or Twitch? Patreon! All of my members' content is for Patreon. You get the link to a unlisted YouTube stream, where you can then watch the stream when it is live, and it is only for members, because only you guys have access to that link. I think you can technically do members-only stuff on Twitch as well, but I've never figured out how to do that, so I don't want to break it trying to figure it out. I don't want to break it, so I just stick to Patreon because it's easier. I miss having proper YouTube memberships, but this channel's probably never getting monetized ever again, so meh. We do what we gotta do around here. Haha. Anyway. But that's the plan for the rest of the week. Different days off than normal, but that's just how the schedule shook out. Hope that's chill. Okay. So until then, thank you guys so much for choosing to spend time with me. I hope that you have a good rest of your time zone, and until I see you again, Yunotsu! I need to take medicine for this headache, bro. It's starting to come back again, and me!